AITA for telling my daughter she can't bring her boyfriend to Thanksgiving. I, 49F, am a mom of two kids, Mia, 22F, and Ben, 19M. Thanksgiving is coming up, and it's usually my favorite holiday of the year, a time for family, warmth, good food, and reconnecting. But this year, things have gotten messy, and I'm starting to wonder if I made a mistake. Let me start with some context. Mia, my oldest, has been dating her boyfriend Jake, 23M, for about a year now. Jake and I don't see eye to eye, though I've tried to keep things civil for Mia's sake. It's not that Jake is outright rude or malicious. He's just intense, especially when it comes to food. Jake is vegan, which I respect completely. Everyone has a right to their dietary choices, and I try my best to accommodate people. But Jake doesn't just follow a vegan lifestyle. He has a habit of making it everyone's business. And that's where the problems start. From the first time I met Jake, he made an impression, and not necessarily a good one. He came over for dinner, and I'd gone out of my way to prepare something vegan-friendly, a hearty vegetable stew with crusty bread. I was proud of it. It was flavorful, filling, and entirely plant-based. But instead of appreciating the effort, Jake questioned why I used store-bought bread instead of making it myself to avoid preservatives. That rubbed me the wrong way, but I let it slide. Then came the family gatherings. And nearly every one, Jake would find a way to bring the conversation back to food ethics. He'd make pointed comments like, "It's sad how normalized eating animals has become, while people were cutting into their turkey or steak." Or, "Do you know how much water it takes to produce a gallon of milk?" While my husband was pouring creamer into his coffee. The comments weren't outright rude, but they were uncomfortable. It felt like he was judging us, and the atmosphere would get awkward every time. The final straw was a dinner we hosted about 6 months ago. I had spent the whole afternoon cooking, preparing a pasta dish with a fresh salad on the side. Fully vegan, just for Jake. He barely touched it and instead started asking why I didn't use real vegan Parmesan cheese instead of the nutritional yeast I'd sprinkled on top. For dessert, I had baked an apple pie from scratch, thinking it would be a nice touch. But Jake declined, saying he doesn't eat sugar because it's toxic. Again, not just a polite refusal, a full-on lecture about how processed foods are ruining society. The rest of the family was visibly uncomfortable, and I had to step in and change the subject. It was exhausting. Now let's fast forward to this year. Thanksgiving is a huge deal in our family. I host it every year, and I pour my heart and soul into it. It's not just about the food, it's about creating an experience. I spend weeks planning the menu, testing recipes, and making sure everything is perfect. We have all the classics: turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, and of course, pumpkin pie. It's a day I look forward to all year because it brings everyone together. This year, we're hosting about 15 people. My parents, my sister and her family, a couple of close friends, and of course, my husband and kids. It's a lot of work, but I genuinely enjoy it. Or at least I did, until Mia asked if Jake could come. The moment she brought it up, I felt a knot in my stomach. All I could picture was Jake sitting at the table, dissecting the turkey's centerpiece and making everyone uncomfortable. I hesitated and told Mia I'd think about it. She immediately jumped to his defense, promising he'd be on his best behavior and wouldn't make any comments about the food. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't shake the memories of all the times he'd made things awkward before. After a few days of mulling it over, I decided to say no. I sat Mia down and explained my reasoning as gently as I could. I told her Thanksgiving is already a stressful day for me, and I didn't want to add the extra pressure of worrying about Jake's behavior. I emphasized that it wasn't personal. I just wanted to create a warm, conflict-free environment for everyone. Mia did not take it well. She accused me of being unfair and said I was disrespecting her relationship. She argued that Jake is an important part of her life and that by excluding him, I was excluding a part of her. She insisted he wouldn't cause any problems and said I was making assumptions about his behavior without giving him a chance to prove he could act differently. I tried to explain that my decision wasn't about Jake as a person. It was about protecting the comfort of the other 14 people at the table. I reminded her of past incidents and how his comments had made people uncomfortable. But Mia wasn't having it. She called me rigid, controlling, and even anti-vegan, which feels ridiculous given how hard I've tried to accommodate Jake in the past. Now she's saying if Jake isn't welcome, she might not come either. My son Ben, 19M, thinks I'm overreacting. He says Jake's comments aren't that bad and that I should just let him come and ignore him. I get where he's coming from. Ben is a pretty laid-back kid, and he doesn't let much get under his skin. But not everyone is like Ben. My parents are in their 70s, and they've been coming to Thanksgiving for decades. I know they won't say anything, but I can already imagine my dad's face if Jake starts lecturing him about his plate of turkey and mashed potatoes. My husband is caught in the middle. He understands why I'm frustrated with Jake and agrees that his behavior has been inappropriate in the past. But he also thinks outright banning him might have been too harsh. He suggested inviting Jake with some clear ground rules about keeping the conversation light and avoiding any food-related debates. But honestly, I don't trust Jake to follow those rules. He's passionate about his beliefs, and I don't think he even realizes how judgmental he comes across. Now, I'm second-guessing myself. Part of me feels like I have every right to set boundaries in my own home. Thanksgiving is supposed to be about family, warmth, and tradition, not walking on eggshells or navigating dietary debates. But another part of me wonders if I've been too rigid. Maybe Mia is right, and I'm not giving Jake a fair chance. Maybe I should have trusted her when she promised he'd behave. I don't dislike Jake as a person, but his behavior puts me in a tough position. I want Mia to feel supported and included, but I also don't think it's fair to prioritize Jake's feelings over the comfort of the rest of the family. I'm torn between standing my ground and trying to keep the peace. Mia is still furious with me, and now I'm worried she might not come to Thanksgiving at all. Ben thinks I'm being too strict. My husband is trying to play peacemaker, and I feel like I'm stuck in a no-win situation. So, Reddit, AITA, should I have handled this differently? Or do I have the right to set boundaries in my own home, even if it means upsetting my daughter?